It's been a very busy week for the Georgia Bulldogs because it's recruiting season. Spring practices are going on across the country, and the Georgia staff has been all over the place checking in on their very top, biggest targets, if that makes sense, in the 2026 class. There's a lot to talk about, so if you still follow Georgia recruiting, which you should because it still matters, this is the video for you. I'm going to be talking about where the coaches are and what top targets they've been checking in on this week. But I want to start with the quarterbacks, right? Everyone wants to talk about the quarterbacks. Five-star Jared Curtis will be making his decision on Monday evening between Georgia and Oregon. I'm starting to like Georgia's chances more and more here. They've done a great job of showing him what all they can do for him as far as development goes. They love Mike Bobo and his family. Mike Bobo was there for a visit to check in on Jared Curtis on Wednesday. He will be back very soon for an in-home visit before he makes an announcement on Monday. For more on that, make sure you head over to dawgpost.com. I've got the latest over there, including what you need to know about that final in-home visit before he makes his announcement on Monday. But Mike Bobo was also checking in on some other quarterback targets as well. He went to see Bo Bentley earlier this week, the quarterback out of Salina, Texas. He's down to Georgia, LSU, and Oklahoma. And Jaden O'Neal, who is a five-star quarterback from Texas as well. So Mike Bobo went to check on both of those guys. Jaden O'Neal was in Athens to check out the Dogs for a spring practice, and Mike Bobo was there in Texas to watch him practice this spring. He's currently committed to Oklahoma. So the Sooners have one on board. They're looking to reel in Bo Bentley. It looks like Bo Bentley might lean LSU's way if Jared Curtis ends up at Georgia. So still, some moving parts to all this, but Jared Curtis is still Georgia's top target, and he will be making his announcement on Monday. So that's where Mike Bobo was. He was checking out the quarterbacks. Josh Crawford was in South Florida, making a visit to see Derek Cooper, the number 3 running back prospect in the country. Of course, you can read all about this over on Dawg Post. If you see me looking down, I'm looking at the story that I have written that's already on the site, right? It's got notes about Mike Bobo, Jared Curtis, Derek Cooper, where Josh Crawford was. You also saw a 3-star running back in South Florida while he was down there checking on Derek Cooper. He went to go see another 3-star back. For more on that and that young man's name and what his deal is, what he's all about, make sure you are reading this story that I'm focused in on, laser focused right now over on Dawg Post. But Derek Cooper is a big deal. Still think this is probably a Georgia-Miami battle for the incredibly versatile big play machine out of South Florida. But he was at Texas last weekend with a big visit to Austin. So a lot of people think Texas has moved into that group. I think Oregon's still in the mix. I wouldn't rule out Ohio State. They had him on campus, I believe, not too long ago. I think Clemson's trying to get in the mix. At the end of the day, Georgia's wanted this guy for a long time. Had him on the commit list for like a couple hours before, I believe, his mom went on social media and was like, nope, he's not committed. I don't know where this is coming from, yada, yada, yada. Doesn't matter. He's a major Georgia target. Again, number 3 running back prospect in the country, number 33 overall. So depending on the outlet you look at, he could be a 5-star, he could be a 4-star. Either way, this kid's elite. He's got size, he's like 6'1", 210. He's fast, shifty, but he's got great hands. They can put him in the slot and use him there. So he's a running back, wide receiver, in my opinion. Dude's just a playmaker. And Josh Crawford, Georgia's running backs coach, was down in South Florida to check on him. And again, another 3-star running back in the area. For more on that, head over to Dawg Post. He's also going to be at Colquitt County. Josh Crawford and Mike Bobo are going to be at Colquitt County early next week. I think early next week. At some point next week. I think it's early in the week to check on Jay Lamar and others. But Jay Lamar is a big deal. He is the running back down there for the Packers. Had a breakout junior season. I didn't know who the kid was when last season started. By the end of it, to me, he looks like the best running back in the state. Janaz Walton plays out of Central High School in West Georgia. It feels like Georgia's kind of faded with him. I thought they were a school early on for him. There's a kid out of Langston Hughes, Carson Baker, who has Georgia in like his top 5, top 6. Amari Latimer is a kid I really like. I think he's an SEC back. He's at Sandy Creek. That I held a Georgia offer, still probably holds one, but I haven't felt a lot of momentum with Georgia and him. Not a lot of buzz there at all, really. Jay Lamar is the guy to know. He runs with balance. He's a tackle breaking machine, 200 plus pounds. You turn on the tape and it's impressive. I mean, he can do a little bit of it all. He can make guys miss. He can run through guys. Again, 200 plus pounds, but he runs with balance. He is so hard to bring down. Strong lower body, works the sideline well. He's got a little bit of a spin move, can catch out of the backfield. This is a guy that is only going to get better too. So I expect him to have an absolutely monster senior season for Colquitt County. And again, they will be hosting Mike Bobo and Josh Crawford for a spring practice next week. They want to get eyes on Jay Lamar, who is a big target. So Savion Hyder is another guy I think Josh Crawford went to go see. I never confirmed that, but I believe that to be the case. I'm not going to put that in the story until I hear from the young man himself. Hey, Josh Crawford came to see me. But I think Georgia's running backs coach was out to see Savion Hunter last week. He's the number 1 running back. Derek Cooper's number 3. Jay Lamar, I think he's a top 10 back in the country. So either way, I think they're going to take 2. I think they're going to end up with 2 really, really good ones by the time it's all said and done. Moving right along, James Coley, Georgia's wide receivers coach, went to go check on Davian Brown. He is a 4-star wide receiver. He's the number 35 wide receiver in the country. So that's not going to really excite a whole lot of Georgia fans. I get that, but kid can play. 6'1", 200 pounds. He will be in town for an official visit the weekend of June 13th. He's got sure hands. Made a lot of plays last year. 42 catches for 946 yards, 10 touchdowns. Moves really well. He's got sneaky speed. He can fly by defenders, but he's also a guy who can break tackles after the catch. He's dangerous after the catch. He can elude defenders. He's got good burst. Size, again, 6'1", 200 pounds. So he's got some muscle on him. He's a physical blocker in the run game. And Georgia's, been recruiting him for a hot minute now. So they're going to get him on campus for a big June 13th official visit. Definitely a guy to keep an eye on. James Coley's not going all these places for fun. When he goes to see a kid, it means something. And Davian Brown is a guy to keep an eye on. Even though he's not ranked super high, he is a 4-star. And at the end of the day, they just took a 5-star Talon Taylor, 4-star CJ Wiley. He could be a 5-star. And 3 other really good receivers in the 25 class. So don't be surprised if they don't have some star-studded 26 class at wide receiver. They still have Vance Spafford, one of the fastest wide receivers in the country out of California. He's still on the commit list. They've got to hold on to him, but he is a big, big deal and an outstanding get for the Dogs. They also have Brady Marchese, an in-state 3-star wide receiver out of Cartersville High School, a guy that I'm going to be seeing tomorrow. I should have a bigger update on him. Maybe Sunday. Maybe Sunday is when I'll have that video. I'm going to see him, Keelan Jones, 3-star Georgia defensive back commitment out of Sprayberry. I'm going to try to stop by Kell High School. Going to try to stop by North Cobb High School. Loaded with talent from Cartersville down to Marietta and over. So we'll see how many guys I'm able to see. But Davian Brown is a 4-star wide receiver to keep an eye on that James Coley went to visit this week. Dante Williams was out in Texas checking on and offering a new safety prospect, Chase Calicut. 6'3", 190 out of North Shore, a big-time program out there in Texas. He's ranked as the number 11 safety, number 127 overall. So he got a visit from defensive backs coach Dante Williams, who offered him basically during that visit. So this is a new defensive back target to keep a close eye on out of Texas. We'll see if he comes around and gives Georgia an official visit. I'll try to get more updates on that soon. Glenn Schumann was out in California, trying to get a California to Georgia wave going. He was saying Kenneth Goodwin, 4-star linebacker, and I guess he's a top target. I mean, Tyler Atkinson is the big dog at linebacker, number 1 linebacker in the country. I made a video that only a few of y'all watched yesterday. Nick Abrams, big deal. Go watch that video that I put out, I guess, on Wednesday. He's a big deal. Had Georgia in his top 4. Kenneth Goodwin is a guy to keep an eye on as well. 6'2", 205. He's a number 28 linebacker, number 347 overall. Again, that's not going to excite a whole lot of Georgia fans. Doesn't matter. If Glenn Schumann wants him, that's all you need to know. I mean, he is the linebacker whisperer, okay? He is a top dog on the recruiting trail, and he's not going to California for fun. I'm sure it can be fun out there, but this is a work trip. He's in business mode. He's in recruiting mode. So he's out in California seeing Kenneth Goodwin the second. I believe it's the second. I don't do seconds. I don't do juniors or seniors. If you have a son and you give your son your name, that name's not yours. So Kenneth Goodwin is the kid's name. I don't know what his dad's name is because his dad gave him his name. Doesn't matter. Off topic. I could talk about that for a while, but I'm not going to. Glenn Schumann was in California to see a four-star linebacker. You could read more about that and a lot of other great recruiting scoop, recruiting details, insider notes. It's all on Dawg Post. It's all there, right? Become a smarter Georgia fan over on the website. You can read more about all this stuff I just rambled on accidentally and more. I think they're quality notes, all right? The Georgia staff, they're out there working. They're out there recruiting. It's recruiting season. And if you're a five-star Georgia fan, you follow recruiting and you do it over on Dawg Post. Thanks for watching this video. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys over on the website.